Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back, welcome back. I think that the day that I am filming must be a very popular day of the week for leaf blowers in public parks. Public parks, public parks, public parks. Normally, I don't like to frame psychological analysis in the context of fictional work. I think it's a very problematic way to approach mental health. However, today I will be breaking down how Bruce Wayne is actually the biggest supervillain in all of Gotham City. Today's video is creating an archnemesis, how infrastructural failure plagues Gotham City. First, let's talk about Bruce Wayne and Wayne Enterprises. So, Bruce Wayne has billions and billions of dollars. He basically has infinite money, and yet he is living in a crime-riddled dystopia. Why is that the case? Instead of focusing on the institutional issues, he put a bunch of money into becoming the Batman. Now let's talk about some of his best friends, like Catwoman. She was pushed into the margins of corporate structure, probably due to gender and not due to expertise and proficiency at her job. She is an imperfect villain. I mean, she's perfect in the sense that she's a villain for the sake of being a villain, which is that she is affected by greed and lust and has allowed those things to drive her narrative. Next, we're going to talk about one of my personal favorite villains in Gotham City, who is Oswald Cobblepot, also known as the Penguin. Although, I'm glad that he's reclaimed that for himself, but I would not want to call somebody that. I think it's mean. He is an outcast in society due to physical deformity, and he is unable to afford the high cost of living in Gotham City, which means that he has been relegated to living in the sewer. He doesn't have a strong family support system, and so he falls in with a bad crowd. So originally, Oswald Cobblepot was born to a very affluent family, but due to his physical deformities, he was cast out by these people, leaving him completely vulnerable. Bruce Wayne could definitely do much more to create affordable housing options for the disabled, preferably where they are able to keep pets, like penguins. Now, I will address Arkham Asylum in just a second, because that is not what I consider affordable housing options for the disabled. We're talking about a safe and comfortable environment for people to actually thrive. Next, of course, we have to talk about the Josher. He is involved in organized crime, but he's truly a psychopath. Like, this guy does not feel remorse when he does bad things to other people. And some people really are not capable of being rehabilitated. He did get injured on the job. He could possibly thrive outside of crime if he had a really good outpatient support system. But this is really going to depend on the Josher himself, because the Josher's whole thing is creating unbridled chaos for no particular reason whatsoever. He doesn't really have like a moral imperative. He just wants to watch the world burn. And so because there's really not a way to rehabilitate him, it's much more important to find a place to put him where we'll get into Arkham Asylum in a minute, and why that's not an ideal place to house prisoners. Yeah, he's definitely not going to get the help he needs at a facility like Arkham. He's only going to become further polarized during those periods of incarceration. Other inmates are going to be in there cooking up schemes and also re-traumatizing each other. And it's a place where you can develop a victim mentality, meaning that even though the Josher doesn't necessarily have compassion for others, that he would perceive that the world owes him something because of his suffering. So next we're going to talk about what kind of public works initiative could be funded by Wayne Enterprises in order to better fight crime in Gotham. Affordable and subsidized housing for lower income individuals and families. Greater oversight into safety practices at chemical and manufacturing plants. That way the Josher and Two-Face never would have had their little accidents. Wellness initiative geared toward training and creating jobs in mental health. Gotham could literally be the mental health capital of the world under the right circumstances. The infrastructure of Gotham would be a lot more sound if it wasn't being constantly compromised by superhero warfare. Now, don't you also think that with the right training, somebody like Oswald Cobblepot would make an ideal therapist? Also, Bruce Wayne needs to stop hooking up with Catwoman and marry her already. We know she's just after that bag. Don't be so selfish, Bruce. Have a couple kids and hire someone to raise them. And she's really not the biggest threat to Gotham overall. Probably the Josher is the biggest threat overall. I hear you comic book fans out there, but Catwoman left Batman at the altar so he could continue to protect Gotham. Gotham wouldn't need a protector if it didn't have a gigantic money leech hoarding and mismanaging its resources. Here's looking at you, Bruce Wayne. Now, here's my final point. He probably doesn't realize that what he's doing is misguided and harmful. The narrative around Batman is that he's the hero of the story, when in truth, his actions overall are very harmful. Polarized thinking and action create an environment where it's very easy for people to be hurt by the actions of others, but be fed a narrative which makes them believe their problems are caused by something or someone else. Those who have been conditioned by wealth do not understand what the truth of poverty looks like or how their actions could change to create a better outcome for everyone. And also, losing parents at an early age to violent crime has made Bruce Wayne see the criminals as the cause for these problems instead of examining why they were committing violent crimes in the first place. Thank you so much for joining me today on my brand new channel. This video wasn't quite as ASMR-y as some of the other ones I am filming outside today, and I wanted to knock out a bunch of new content so I would have stuff to upload throughout the week. And cue algorithm to like me very much. I hope all of you are blessed and protected by our Lord Jesus Christ on this day. And until next time, remember that little sister Virginia loves